Hey guys, it is Growing Up Alina, and I am here with little Lukey. Say hi, baby. Oh my gosh. But anyways, so today we wanted to talk about how I found out I was 18 and pregnant. So, you want to start? So I had actually went to youth group. He's so cute. So, it all started when I went to youth group, and we were playing a game, and now this is on the night of October 5th, 2018. So we were playing a game, and next thing you know, I am on the ground in pain because I was playing around and I got hurt. And I went home with my boyfriend because I had brought him to youth group for the first time. And after that, I was just in so much pain, and I was like, okay, I need to go to the emergency room because something doesn't feel right. So, long story short, we pack up the car, we head over to the nearest hospital where I live, and they check me in, they do all my stats, they ask me, is there any way I could be pregnant? I said no. And they're like, okay, just because it's mandatory, we're gonna do a pregnancy test. So I'm like, all right, cool, of course, go right ahead. Because in my head, I'm thinking it's gonna come back negative. So I found out in the hospital, y'all, which is the best place to find out, because I honestly had more time to think about how I was gonna tell my parents and all that stuff. And so they run the test. I'm still sitting there thinking it's gonna be negative, like blah 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 blah. Okay, I just want to figure out what's wrong with my organs. And then all of a sudden, this male nurse walks in. He looks over and he's just like, oh, it's positive. It walks out. Now they had just done blood work, so I'm like, am I gonna die? Am I okay? Like, what is going on? And next thing you know, female doctor and a female nurse walk in. They close the blinds and they're like, we don't know whether to say congratulations or not, but you're pregnant. And I just sat there and I was just like, you sure? And they're like, yeah, look at the lines right here. And they show me, and honestly, my whole world turned upside down for that moment, because it wasn't something I expected for myself. But it happened, and now I was gonna have to live with it and everything. And honestly, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me, at least for me. At least for other people, I know they're gonna say, oh no, it wasn't like the best thing. But like, remember, I come from a Christian family. You're supposed to save yourself until marriage, and I messed up and I ended up pregnant, and a blessing came out of it. So that's all that pretty much mattered. So at this point, my boyfriend and my dad are sitting in a waiting room, and I told them, I'm like, please don't say anything yet to anybody. I just need to figure this out. And they're like, okay, we're gonna take you into the back, we're gonna do an ultrasound, and we're gonna see how far along you are. So they bring me into the back and they tell me that I am 4 weeks and 2 days along, and all you could see was the egg sac because he was still being formed. So he was too tiny to see on the ultrasound at that point. But I was just like on the verge of tears. I'm like, oh my gosh. It was both a happy and a scared moment for me, and it probably will always be that way in my life. I was both happy and scared. And then what scared me even more is they're like, it looks like there's two. And I was like, what? Twins? No way. So then they go around and they look, and there was an empty other hole. Like, so in a uterus, I know, like, you can see where it's just where the one baby is, but then they did more of a scan and then they saw another empty spot. But I think I just had a lot of amniotic fluid. Maybe I was carrying twins, but the other one didn't form all the way. I have no clue, but most likely what happened is there was just a lot of amniotic fluid, and that's what I'm going to keep telling myself just in case it was a twin, because then I would just be totally devastated and I wouldn't have known, so it's better if I don't know. But it was just him, and there was that one egg sac, and I was just super happy, super scared, and super upset. And I realized my life was about to get more hard, but it's going to be worth it in the end. So they wheel me back into the room, and they started telling me my options, and I'm like, I'm keeping the baby. There's no way I would get an abortion ever. Of course, when I went home and when I told my parents and everything went down, abortion did cross my mind, but I would never ever do something like that. So of course it just crosses your mind because you're just discombobulated and you don't know what to think or what to do. And I'm so glad he's here. He makes my life so much fun, and I get to vlog, and I can one day show him that no matter the odds, Mama was able to do it, right? Mama was able to do it. Look how chunky, guys. He's such a chunk. He's such a chunk. But so, anyways, my dad and my boyfriend come into the room, and it was honestly hard for me to look at them. But, well, mostly my dad, because remember, I'm daddy's little girl and everything. And my boyfriend, I had called prior to them coming in the room, and because I was worried and I was scared, and I called him and I told him I'm pregnant, and he walked away from my dad, and he's like, what? And the next thing I know, the phone call ends, and then he comes into the room and everything, and he had like this look on his face, and it was so hard for both of us to like keep our cool and not freak out right in front of my dad. And then my dad had to get up and use the restroom, so when he left the room, that's when we started crying, and he's just like, we're gonna get through this. And so far we've been doing it for 9 months, because he's almost 9 months at the end of this month. And we wouldn't have our life any other way. So that is how I found out I was pregnant at 18. This was only a month before I turned 19. And it happened to be on the 1-year anniversary that my cousin passed away of DIPG. And in my heart, I knew it was a little boy because my cousin that passed away was a boy, and he was 12. So it just felt appropriate and such an honor to give Lucas his name as his middle name. So that's why he's Lucas Anthony. Lucas came from, I really like the name Luca, and then his dad's name starts with an S because it's Sabian. So we're like, why don't we take the S from your name and put it behind Luca and make it Lucas? So that's how we got Lucas too, and his name means bright because he lights up our life. So yeah, and it's from the Italian heritage, and I'm Italian. So that is how we got Lucas's name, and how I found out I was 18 and pregnant. Thank you so much for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. Oh, don't gag yourself, please. Tickle that notification bell, please. And we'll see you in the next one.